All right, this is Rex, and we're with Cammy. I say it right, Cammy?
Yes.
All right, Cammy, let's ask you a few questions, kind of get an idea who you are. All right, so question number one, what's your shoe size?
I'm a size 8 in women's.
8 in women's, okay.
Yes.
And how did you get into this whole foot fetish world?
Well, I had an Instagram DM from one day from a friend, you might know him. And he just asked if I've ever done any foot fetish content. And I said I had before, nothing serious.
Mm-hmm.
And then we set up a time and we started shooting.
Awesome. And from what you've heard or what you've known, what do you think, I guess, a foot fetish is? What does that mean to you?
A foot fetish, I think, is just kind of like any other fetish. It's something that you can't necessarily help but find attractive or interesting. So that's kind of what I think of when I think of a foot fetish.
Gotcha. Let's talk about what you like. So what's your ideal option? Are you more of a walk around barefoot, socks, slippers? What do you prefer when you're just being comfortable out and about?
I'd say it kind of depends. After I get home from like work or school, I'm definitely a barefoot kind of person. Obviously, if I'm at somebody else's house, I'm gonna wear socks just because I don't know what they got going on their floors. But for me, my floors are clean, so I walk around barefoot a lot of the time.
Okay, so you prefer barefoot?
Yeah.
Most of the time. All right, when you're going out, let's say it's 65, 75 degrees, it's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
What's your preference as far as shoes? What are you putting on?
I tend to reach for sandals or Air Forces. I kind of switch between those two.
Swing toes too. Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha. And do your feet, well, I'm sure everyone has, but do your feet stink? If so, when do they get to the point where they're stinky?
I think my feet only really stink if I've been in tennis shoes for longer than 6 hours, probably. And if that's the case, I try not to smell them, but on occasion it can get a bit,
A bit smelly.
a little bit smelly. But for most times, no.
Gotcha.
I keep it pretty fresh.
Keep it pretty fresh. What's your go-to pedicure color?
I like white, always white.
Okay, so always white. That's
Yeah.
good to know. And then as far as the fetish world, what would you say is the most intriguing part about it that you've learned so far?
So far it's just kind of learning about what different people like. I don't have a foot fetish myself, so I think the most interesting part is just figuring out what about feet people find interesting and attractive. That's kind of been the most interesting part for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say if someone just randomly walked up to you and said, you have extremely beautiful feet, can I take a picture at the grocery store or anywhere like that? Would you do it?
Yeah, I'm not shy about that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I'd be, take a few, I'm down.
Okay, so you're not shy about
No.
showing off your feet?
Not at all.
Okay, awesome. And then let me ask you this. When you go out on a date or anything like that, maybe a social event, and you have to dress up.
Right.
Are the heels 2 inches, 3 inches, 5?
Man,
What you doing?
Most of the time they're about 5.
5?
I go for pretty rather than comfortable. So.
Okay. Gotcha. Beauty's pain.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so that's what you're going for. Okay, and then I'm gonna ask you one more question. You ready for this one?
Yes.
Can I take these socks off and give your feet a kiss?
Yes. Go ahead.
Uh-oh. These are fishnets. Socks. Which are actually pretty dope. And your feet smell really good. I get the other one. Okay. And all right, this is my 3rd video. Hope you guys enjoy. We'll drop her page in the bio soon, and y'all have a great day.